Hey guys, today we're going to represent the value of a decimal using 4 different formats. So one of them is standard form, word form, expanded form, and expanded notation. Okay. So first we're going to be going over our place value. So we know that all of the place value in front of the decimal, these are our whole numbers. And anything after the decimal is less than 1 or less than 1 whole. Okay? So we have a decimal here. And if you notice, we have 6 wholes, so that's going to go in the ones. And that's our decimal. 5 in the tenths, 3 in the hundredths, and 7 in the thousandths. Okay? So this is our standard form. 6 and 537 thousandths, because that's the last place value that we used. Okay? So now let's use that same format to write our word form. So we have 6 and represents our decimal, 537 thousandths. So if you notice, I have THS at the end, thousandths. Okay? Then we have our expanded form. So we have 6 wholes plus, if we get rid of this, then we just have 0.5 or 0 and 5 tenths. Plus, if we just want to represent the 3, we have 0 and 0 and 3 hundredths, 0.03. And finally, we have 0 and 7 thousandths, or 0.007. So this is expanded form. We are separating each value in their own place value. And finally, we have expanded notation. So we are multiplying each digit by its place value. So 6 times 1, because it's in the ones place. 5 times 0.1, because it's in the tenths place. Plus 3 times 0.01, because it's in the hundredths place. And finally 7 times 0.001, because it's in the thousandths place. Okay? All right, so we have all 4 different formats. Standard form, word form, expanded form, and expanded notation. Okay, so let's try a different decimal. So this time we have 9 wholes. We have 1/10. We have 0 hundredths. And we have 8 thousandths. Okay? So remember, we're going to say this out loud so that we can know which is our word form. When we say it out loud, that's how we write it. So 9 and 108 thousandths. So let's write 9 and, remember the word and is where we put our decimal. 1 108, because there's nothing in the hundredths. And then we always write our last place value, which is thousandths. Okay, 9 and 108 thousandths. Whoops, there you go. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take this number and separate it by place value. So 9 is a whole number, so we're going to have 9 plus 0 and 1/10 plus, I don't have a value in the hundredths place, so I'm going to skip that and move over to the thousandths place. So 0 and 8 thousandths, which means I have to put 0.008. So this is our expanded form. Okay. And then finally, we're going to have expanded notation. So remember, we're going to multiply each digit by the value of the place value. So we're going to start with 9 times 1, because it's in the ones place, plus 1 times 0.1 plus, we don't have anything in the hundredths, so we're going to skip to 8 times 0.001. And this is our expanded notation. Okay. Last example. This time we have 12 as a whole number, and then we have a 0 in the tenths, 9 in the hundredths, and 7 in the thousandths. So remember, we have to say this out loud in order to get our word form. So we're going to write 12 and 97 thousandths. So let's write that. $12 and 97 thousandths. Okay, now we can go ahead and write our expanded form. So we have to start with the 1. So 1 is actually a 10, so we're going to write 10 plus 2 plus, we don't have anything in the tenths place, so we're going to go ahead and skip the tenths and go to the hundredths. So we're going to have 0.09, or 0 and 9 hundredths, plus 0.007, or 0 and 7 hundredths. Okay. And finally, we're going to do expanded notation. So we're multiplying each digit by the value of the place value. So 1 times 10 is 10, plus 2 times 1 is 1, plus, we don't have anything in the tenths place, so we're going to skip to 9 times 0.01, which is 0 and 1/100th, plus 7 times 0.001, which is 0 and 1/1000ths. Okay, so now we have our 4 representations: standard form, word form, expanded form, and expanded notation.